This module has been developed for the Michigan Early Literacy Collaborative Project. The purpose of this module is to support Kindergarten Common Core Standard RFK 4, Read Emergent Reader Text with Purpose and Understanding. Fluency is the ability to read a text accurately, quickly, and with expression. Fluency is important because it provides a bridge between word recognition and comprehension. Children are able to group words quickly to help them gain meaning from what they read. Fluent readers read aloud effortlessly and with expression. Their reading sounds natural as if they were speaking. This lesson, Let's Read, focuses on the standard RFK 4. The learning objective is students will learn to read emergent reader text with purpose and understanding. Yes, fluency matters and is very important. Learning to read for purpose and understanding develops gradually over time and through practice. This lesson should be taught within the first few days of school, and others like it should be taught and practiced daily. At the earliest stage of reading development, students' oral reading is slow and labored because students are just learning to break the code, to attach sound to letters, and to blend letter sounds into recognizable words. The best strategy for developing reading fluency is to provide students with many opportunities to read the same passage orally several times. To do this, you should first know what to have your students read. Second, you should know how to have your students read aloud repetitively. Shared reading with predictable books are an important part in building reading skills in children. Predictable books must be very predictable with repetitive sentence patterns, pictures to support those sentence patterns, and not too much print. The repeated pattern, refrains, and rhyme allow children to pretend read and develop their own reading skills. The book must be able to take students someplace conceptually. Most important goal is even children with no literacy background will be able to pretend read the book after it has been read several times and will develop the confidence and skills that go along with accomplishment. For this lesson, the following materials are needed. Will You Be My Friend by Eric Carlisle. If you have the big book version, it is preferred. And you will need pictures of the animals from the story for acting out the story. For easy animal pictures, you can simply copy the animals from the story. This lesson is intended to last 15 to 20 minutes. Every good reading lesson should have 3 phases: before, during, and after. It is important to complete each part of the lesson to build readers and establish the skills they need for understanding and purpose. At the beginning of each lesson, it is important to grab your students' attention and get them excited about what they are going to be learning next. Holding the book up with the front of it showing, you may want to begin this lesson by saying, "Today we are going to read a story about a little gray mouse who is looking for a new friend. Have you ever tried looking for a new friend? Well, this little mouse runs from animal to animal asking, 'Do you want to be my friend?' Do you think any animal wants to be the mouse's friend? Let's read to find out." Before you begin reading the story, make sure to talk about the cover, the title of the book, the author, and the pictures. Then have children locate them on the cover. Next, take a picture walk through the book with the children. Talk about the different animals Mouse meets and what is happening in the story. Last, make sure to call the names of the animals by their correct names: elephant, hippopotamus, peacock, horse, lion, monkey, as they are important words and may be new vocabulary for some of the students. During reading, you will want to read the book to your students, focusing on the meaning and enjoyment of the story. The illustrations and suspense of waiting to see if the poor little mouse will find a friend is exciting. As you are reading, do not call attention to what appears to be in the green grass. It is not grass, but a snake which makes its appearance on the last page. Do talk about the different animals in the book. See if the children can predict the animal that will be pictured on the next page by the tail that is shown on the preceding page. Encourage children to join in the reading. In this story, your students will begin to want to say the repeated responses. You may want to read the book twice. During the second time, your students will be chiming in and actively participating every time the book says, "So, the mouse ran on. Do you want to be my friend?" After After reading the story once, you may choose to read the story once more. After reading it for the second time, by reading this fun, predictable book, the teacher is building reading skills and developing comprehension or building understanding of the story. Students can continue to build fluency and comprehension by acting out the story. Using a student volunteer, place a pre-made animal card around the child's neck, or you can clip it onto their shirt. Choose another student helper and give them the mouse card. Tell the students you are going to act out what happens in the story by becoming that character. Model with your student helpers. Let students know that they will be acting out the play a few times so many will get a chance to participate. As a teacher, you will read the part of the book and that is not repetitive, and let the children in the audience read the repetitive part with you. Your students will now take turns acting out the story. Students should be engaged in practicing the teaching point and teaching what they have seen demonstrated. As the teacher, you will monitor and help students and engage them in the story. For ongoing practice, make the book and/or little book versions available for children to practice reading on their own, or you can record yourself reading the story to use at a listening center. Children do like to listen to someone they know and recognize reading the story. Some students will just listen to the story turning the pages. Other children will read the words along with your voice on tape, while some other children will match the voices with the print on each page and really be reading. This lesson can be used with many other books by Eric Carle, such as Brown Bear, Brown Bear. As the same lesson is used, students will become more familiar with the process and gain the confidence that they are learning to read. It is now time to wrap up the lesson. In this step, we set up children to transfer the teaching point to become more independent in their reading. The teacher should place the book in the reading area as a physical representation to remind students of what teaching has occurred. The lesson ends by naming the teaching point one last time and inviting children to try it on their own as we send them off to read. So, readers, when we read books like Will You Be My Friend and ask questions and understand the story, we are becoming better readers. Don't you agree? As a teacher, you can assess this task informally by listening and watching the students act out the story. This is only a beginning lesson to introduce children to the process of how to become a better reader and to read for understanding and purpose. This skill will need to be practiced every day to achieve this goal for all of your students. After completing this lesson, there are several resources that provide students the opportunity to continue practicing and mastering the standard.